You already know, if the glasses are coming on, the video is about to get nerdy and you are about to learn something that is going to change the game for you and your agency. Everyone is out here with their AI automation agency, building chatbots and trying to serve clients with these chatbots. But there is one key fundamental thing that is missing and no one is talking about right now, and that is how do you build a solid knowledge base for these chatbots. Now, these chatbots predominantly run using AI, or they have some form of knowledge base attached to them, which train them and help them actually respond and answer questions on a set structure that we give it. So this video is going to be breaking down how you can build a killer knowledge base and how you can use a ton of different tools. And I'm also going to give you a couple of examples and show you how we do it as well at our agency. Let's begin. I'm actually going to take these glasses off now. This video is building a killer chatbot knowledge base. Now, for those of you who are new to the AI automation agency world, a chatbot is essentially something that we offer to our clients that can help them with a range of different tasks. Now, we use AI in these chatbots, which make them super intelligent and incredibly beneficial to the companies that we work with. So what is a knowledge base? Well, the way that we see it, it's like a human body. The knowledge base is the brain of our chatbot. The chatbot build and structure questions and flows. That is the bones, that is the muscles of the skeleton. That's what's holding everything together. And then we have webhooks and third-party plugins like Zapier that can automate data and that kind of thing. Those are the organs. Those take out the bad stuff, bring in the good stuff. Kind of a weird analogy, but you know where I'm going. But the main thing we're going to be talking about today is that brain part. How do we build out this knowledge base and how do we supercharge our chatbots? So let's begin. There are a few different use cases for these chatbots, as you know, but in this video, I want to highlight 3 of them and just give you a very base overview of how a knowledge base can be used in a few different ways. Firstly, it could be answering questions. This is predominantly going to be in the B2C niche. Maybe it's on a Shopify store where you can ask questions about certain products and that chatbot can then answer and give feedback on products based on the knowledge base that it has. Maybe it's on a law firm website and it knows information about the services that that law firm provides, and then that can then answer the users on that chatbot with the knowledge base that we provide it. We can also use it as an internal resource. We work with clients building them chatbots that they use behind the scenes. They use them internally to help train staff members and use as a bank of resources filled with data that they've collected over the last 10, 15 years. And then of course, we actually have an opportunity to build knowledge bases using third-party data. So what is this used for? Well, this is for the likes of persona bots, or this could potentially be for a service bot that we're not necessarily an expert in, but we capture all of the experts in that field and we bring them into this one chatbot and we just simply use a knowledge base for that. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can do all 3 of these, and it should be very, very clear of what you need to do once we get started. So just quickly touching on what could this chatbot look like with a knowledge base that is based around questions and answers. If it's on a Shopify store, it could be recommending products, it could be giving product information, maybe it can help with refund policies, give people information about shipping times, and then just giving general support about the products that are on that website. For our internal bot, perhaps it could train staff, it could store internal data, it could be a knowledge center and a resource hub. And then that is then used to fuel that business behind the scenes. And instead of having to trawl through drawers and drawers of paperwork to find, oh, this is McCarthy's documentation from 2014. No, we now have a chatbot that has all of that information in it. We say, give us McCarthy's information from 2014. That chatbot then spits that information to us, and it is essentially our own personal assistant. So you can kind of see a use case there. Number 3 was our third-party bots, and this is, of course, like I mentioned, a persona bot. So we've got Iman Gadzi here looking very sharp. Maybe we want to build a bot that basically just is trained on all of Iman Gadzi's videos, and then Iman can teach us and we can ask him questions, and instead of us having to sit there and go through 15, 20 of these videos to find out something, we can just ask him questions and he'll be able to tell us because we've essentially trained a bot to replicate Iman Gadzi. So trained on third-party data, industry expert advice, personal mentor bot, super bot potential. The opportunities here are endless, and we will be making another video on persona bots very, very soon. There's just loads of people making videos on them right now, so it's not that interesting. So what are the pros of using a knowledge base? Well, look, if you went to a bowling alley right now, you probably think that you look like this guy. He's looking sharp, he's got all the gear, perfect bowl, probably gonna land a strike. But the harsh reality is, you aren't that good. And this is probably what you look like. Now, this is okay. You can look like this and you can bowl like this, because at the end of the day, you can see here, he's got these little guardrails up. So this is an analogy I like to use for my clients when I'm talking to them. I like to explain how a knowledge base works and how it is very, very similar to bowling. The point is, you start from the same place and the ball ends up in the same place. The only difference is with a knowledge base, it's a little bit more controlled because you have those guardrails up. Regardless of what you ask the bot, regardless of which direction the ball goes, it's always going to end up in that same place. I wanted to give you a quick idea of what a bot could look like if the knowledge base was loose, or it was mainly just using ChatGPT and AI to answer questions. You're going to have a pool of different questions and a pool of different directions in which your questions and answers could go. So you're going to have your correct answers, but then you also run the risk of dripping into these other pools because you don't have any clear structure or guidelines. So we don't want that. What we actually want is we want a strict knowledge-based bot that has our correct answers and then no chance at all of it ever bleeding into these results. Now, these are just weird examples, but you know what I mean. What we don't want is to have an accountancy bot, for example, where we ask questions about UK tax law and then it starts rambling on about US tax law, or it starts talking about tax law in the Philippines. That isn't relevant for us. So we need a strict knowledge base in order to keep that bot on the straight and narrow and take us to that point where we get a strike on our bowling alley. So all in all, a strict knowledge base, a strict guide means less mistakes and it is controlled. That is the key. It gets you from A to Z without diverting. So what can we actually use in our knowledge base? You know, what documents and where can we pull from for our knowledge base to give it that structure? Well, we can use sites. So we can use websites, we can use sitemaps, we can use documents like PDFs and Word docs. And we can even just use copy and paste text and plain text. So for sites, we could literally trawl through an entire website and it will automatically scrape all of the content, all of the words, and then it will put it into our chatbot. Now, depending on what chatbot you use, maybe you're using BotPress, maybe you're using VoiceFlow, they all work pretty well. But my preferred method of collecting data for my knowledge base is always going to be docs. And we have complete control of what data we collect and the format that we put it into. So we can use PDFs, we can use Word documents, and of course, we can scrape from websites and move them into our documents as well, which is super, super simple to do. Like I mentioned, we can just use plain text. If you don't want to use a Word document, you can just copy and paste it in, and you can put it into a lot of these bot builders. You can copy and paste all of your documents. But the key for me is this doc opportunity. Being able to upload PDFs, you're going to be working with a lot of clients that have PDFs if they want to do internal bots. Maybe they have guides that they can download from government resources. That is going to be in PDF format. So if we can upload documents, that is going to be key. So to supercharge our knowledge base, we're going to be using 3 tools today. Now, those 3 tools are going to be ChatGPT, they're going to be YouTube, and they're going to be control, copy, and paste. We're going to be using all 3 of these tools for different things, but I want to go over how I use them to supercharge my knowledge bases and how you can do the same. And we're going to be giving you a full guide on that right now. One key thing to remember is you can build these knowledge bases over time. So you don't need to perfect this straight away. You do not need a fully fledged knowledge base right from the get-go. You need the core and the basics in there, and then you can add to it as you go. So start small and build from there. There's no need to overcomplicate it and really confuse yourself setting up this bot and trying to answer every single question. Use the data that you collect and actually start building onto your knowledge base ongoing. So like I mentioned, I'm going to give you a couple of examples today, and we're going to be building this out on BotPress. Now, I know a lot of you guys are using BotPress, so it makes sense for me to talk about it on this platform today. So what we're going to do, we're going to come to BotPress and we're going to create a new bot. Now, what BotPress is really good for, it actually gives us a really simple template that we can just start and jump into straight away. So to start with, we're just going to click answer questions from website, and I'm just going to put our website in for now because it is literally just going to be a placeholder. So let's say hello to our chatbot, and there are going to be a few steps that we need to do in order to get our bot ready so that we can start asking it questions. Now, firstly, you can see here, these are the knowledge bases and these are the resources that our bot's going to pull from. Now, we only want one knowledge base for the example of this bot. So I'm actually going to come up here and delete that. And then you can see this is our knowledge base that we just added with our website. Now, I mentioned the website knowledge base is good, but I prefer to use documents. It's going to give us way more control, and it gives us more flexibility to actually just upload more and more and more knowledge into these bots. So I do highly recommend you always work from documents. It's going to be much easier for you, and it's something that you can adjust and update over time. So because this is going to be a knowledge-based bot, we're going to click this module here, and we can see it's kind of giving us this template here where we can ask it questions. It can check knowledge. If it doesn't know the answer, it will fall back and say, hey, I don't know that question. And then it will come back and let us ask more questions. So this is a good way for us to just test out our knowledge base and see how good and how accurate it is. Obviously, you can build onto this and you can make your bot into whatever you want it to be. But for the example of this video, this is the template we're going to be using. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click Enable Knowledge Answering. This is basically going to let the bot know that for the questions that we give it, it can actually use the knowledge base that we provide to actually answer the questions. So let's get on to building out our knowledge base. So for the example of this video, I want to pick a company that we can use as our base and start to build up our knowledge base from. Then I'm going to be able to show you exactly how we pull the information from these different websites into Word documents for our clients. Let's use a hotel, for example. Let's make it so that this chatbot is going to be plugged into the hotel and it can give advice and recommendations on cool things to do in that local area when guests are staying there. Maybe it is a guest bot that is on an iPad when you check into your room and it says, hey, ask me questions about this local area and where we can go for food or to visit for attractions. Or maybe it can give advice on the hotel itself and actually ask questions about checkout time and baggage storage and all of that good stuff. So let's choose a hotel. Let's go with the Britannia Hotels in London. So this is going to be our website that we're going to start scraping data from. Now, it looks like these guys have lots of different hotels. So we need to bear that in mind. We don't want to start scraping stuff from Waterside Hotel and Peterhead or Croydon Bridge, Aviemore Hotel. That's not going to help us. We specifically want to build this bot for the London location. So first things first, the most easiest thing for us to do is to just look at the information that is on this page. We have check-in times, we have car parking with pricing, is it pet friendly, how much does it cost to bring pets, is there Wi-Fi, and then we can basically scroll down and see what else they offer and what they talk about. Now, the first things first, we're just going to copy and paste this. And I'm going to paste that into an empty Word document that I've made called knowledge-based video. Of course, this is just for the example of this video, and we're going to be going through how we can structure this and just build on top of this with the very little information that we have. So what's good about this website is it actually has an Explore London button. So let's click that. Let's see what they've built up. It looks like they've got some resources already in terms of locations in London's, local attractions, what's on, London hotel offers, all of that good stuff. So let's read this. London, the capital city of England and United Kingdom. London is thriving, blah, blah, blah. Cool. That can go in our knowledge base because it's relevant to the questions that could potentially be asked to our bot that is going to be recommending attractions and things to do in London around our hotel. So let's look at local attractions. Here we go. It gives information about the galleries and the museums, and it also talks about Madame Tussauds and London Dungeons and all these shitty attractions that I highly recommend you don't visit if you come to London because they are super boring. All right, let's copy and paste this. Cool. So we now have a long list of attractions in London. We have some general information about the hotel itself, but I actually want to get a little bit more information. Now, how could I do this? Well, this is obviously a hotel, so I know that they are going to have information on booking.com as well. So let's see if we can find the London location on booking.com that maybe has a little bit more information that we can add to our knowledge base. The key thing here is the more knowledge you have, the better. As long as it's focused and as long as it answers questions that could potentially be asked, then there's no problem doubling up or just going super overboard with it. Cool. So I've found this hotel on booking.com now. Let's see what information is on this page. Here we can usually find a little bit more information about the type of rooms there are, you know, whether they have city views, river views, room facilities, all of that good stuff. So let's start scraping on this website. Now, We could manually go through this and copy and paste it, but I want to show you a smart way of how you could scrape the data on this website using our good friend ChatGPT. So if you come on over to ChatGPT and open up a new chat, now this is going to be a paid feature. So for those of you who aren't paying for it, you will have to go through and copy and paste everything. But for those of you who are paying, this is going to be a massive win for you. We can now use plugins. So there is a plugin called Web Pilot. And what I want to do is I want to click enable on that. Now what we can do, we can come up, we can copy this URL. We can then come back on over to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze this web page. I want to pull as much information from it as possible. Please provide the results in the format of bullet points and a FAQ type style. Us asking ChatGPT to do this is gonna just allow us to receive the text in a format that is gonna be beneficial for a chatbot knowledge base. If we just get it to spit out information, we stand a way better chance of the bot being able to actually answer the questions if we actually position it as if it is an FAQ in the first place. So let's see if this works. Okay, so that has worked. It's starting to pull information from that web page now, and we can see that it's giving us the hotel name, location, facilities, nearby attractions, and then a list of FAQs. Now, this is where we're about to supercharge our knowledge base, because this is where we can start building more FAQs off of the back of the information that has just been pulled. So right now we can see where is the Britannia Hotel located, gives our address, what is the rating, what room types does the hotel offer, what facilities does it have, what attractions are near Britannia International Hotel. These are great, but we want to go a little bit more detailed. So what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do is to write me some more FAQs based on these results. Could you write me more FAQs that could be asked by potential guests for this hotel? Then I'm going to ask it to give me both the question and answer in a FAQ format. Now, of course, if you're doing this with a business, businesses are generally going to have more FAQs. It's going to be a lot easier to do this, but we are going to be able to use ChatGPT here to give us a good list of FAQs. So we got, does Britannia International Canary Wharf offer free Wi-Fi? Does Britannia International have a restaurant? Does the hotel have a gym? How many rooms does the hotel have? Is parking available? These are all great, and this is all information that we can use for our knowledge base. Great, so let's copy and paste this now into our knowledge base, and let's continue building on top of it. What we want to do is build up a list of FAQs. When it comes to knowledge bases, FAQs are the lifeblood of these systems. Usually you're going to be working with other companies. Maybe you're working with a law firm, maybe you're working with an accountant, maybe you're working with a personal trainer. Now these guys are going to have very different FAQs, and they're going to be way more generic than a specific hotel, right? So you're going to be able to get way more FAQs with someone like that rather than just an individual hotel. Usually when you're working with your clients, this is something that they do provide you as well. They're going to be able to give you a long list of FAQs that they get all the time, and then you can use that in the knowledge base too. It's not just up to you to build out these knowledge bases. We always provide questionnaires to our clients, and we get them to fill in as much information as possible and give us as much documentation, PDFs, guides, all of that stuff that we can then use in our knowledge base as well. That's just going to make it way more easier. So look, we now have another bullet point list, an FAQ list for this hotel. Now, again, some of this is the same information that we've already pulled, but there is no problem in doubling up, providing the information is correct. Great. So we are now starting to build out this knowledge base, and just for a singular hotel location, it's looking pretty good. We've got a large amount of data, and we've used ChatGPT to scrape these websites. Now, there's one more thing that I want ChatGPT to do before we move on to the next tool. I want it to be able to make up some potential FAQs that could occur at this hotel and see if it can answer them. So let's ask it if it can give us some examples of FAQs that may come up with this hotel location. Now, the reason why this is so good is sometimes it's going to give us FAQs that we wouldn't have thought about. Now, sometimes it's not going to know the answer because all we've done is give it the website. And if it's not on that website, then it's not going to be very helpful for us. But what we can do is, like I said, now take a long list of FAQs, or at least the questions, and then go back to our client and say, hey, can you answer these questions for me? This is what we need for our knowledge base. So what I'm I'm going to say is give me 20 more potential FAQs. And this is what is really going to supercharge our knowledge base and make our bot unstoppable when it comes to knowing information about this hotel. So although some of these are great, but some aren't so great, does the International Hotel offer any packages or deals? For the most current offers and packages, it's best to check the hotel's official website. Maybe we can have the hotel actually update that on the knowledge base in real time so that it can answer that question. But for now, for the example of this video, we're going to keep it like this. Let's jump back onto ChatGPT. Let's look at our other examples of FAQs. And this is exactly what we can take back to our hotel and give them and say, hey, fill this out. We have 100 FAQs here. We need you to answer all of them inside of this Word document so we can put them into our knowledge base. Now, for the example of this video, I'm just going to get ChatGPT to answer them as if it knew the answers, but obviously we don't want to do that moving forward because we actually want it to be accurate. So I've asked it to pretend to know and give me example answers to these questions. So once it's done that, we're going to move on to the next step. So we've used ChatGPT now, we've used our copy and paste, but there is one final thing that is a supercharger for our chatbots, and that is going to be YouTube. So bear with me here. Let's get this information and put it into our knowledge base, and then we can move on to that. Oh, and by the way, you can go on and on and on with this. Like ChatGPT doesn't take a break. If you said, hey, give me 100 more FAQs, it's going to write you 100 more FAQs. And obviously the more specific you can be, give me FAQs about the spa facilities, or give me FAQs about checkout times and check-in times. You're going to be onto a winner there. So look, we're bulking out. We've got 13 pages now just for this hotel alone, just using copy and paste and ChatGPT plugins. So what if we want to get some information about the London Eye from YouTube? Now this all varies on the type of clients that you are going to have. Sometimes you're not going to need to use this functionality, but this video is to show you the power of building out knowledge bases and how you can do that. So what I'm going to want to do, I actually want to be a super nerd on the London Eye. So what we also wanted to do for our bot was to ensure that it knew about good attractions and sightseeing visits that people can do in London when they come. So instead of just going to Google, copy and pasting walls of text, why don't we come to a YouTube video that has a lot of views, is highly rated, and scrape the data from this video. So let's check this one out. This guy talks about 10 things to do in London and goes through all these different landmarks. So we've got Camden, British Museum, Covent Garden, all very cool places to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this video. We're then going to come onto a website called youtubetranscript.com. And all we're going to do is enter our video in, click go, and that is going to load it up here, and it's going to transcribe everything from this video into text. Now, I can then click copy, I can then come to our knowledge base, and then I can input that information, and it's going to give us a wall of text of what you can be doing in London. Now you can see the superpowers in this. We spoke about building persona bots. We spoke about building these bots that were experts in certain fields. We could literally trawl through YouTube videos, scrape the data, and copy and paste that into a document and use that for our knowledge base. And this is just a crazy tool for us to then use because we now have all of this knowledge at our fingertips on other platforms other than just websites. So this is our knowledge base now. We're now at 15 pages. So let's download this and let's see how it works. We're going to click download, Microsoft Word, docx, and then we're going to come back on over to our bot. We're going to come to quick start knowledge. We're going to delete this because we're not using that website. That was just a placeholder. And we're going to click add knowledge base source. So in our case, it's going to be a document. So we then drag and drop that document that we just downloaded, that we just made, and that is now going to upload. That is now going to be our knowledge base. Now, if we were working with lawyers or accountants like we spoke about, and we want to start using government documents, then we can add PDFs. We can actually upload multiple documents to this. It's going to let me upload that again. So we can always add different knowledge bases. We can add to our knowledge base. We can constantly change and adapt and add new things on an ongoing basis to keep leveling up that knowledge base. So I only want one for the example of this video, and we are going to go back to our bot to see if it works. Cool. So let's start our conversation. Hi. Yep. Thanks, mate. That's a great answer. Now, what I want to ask is, where is the hotel located? The hotel is located in Canary Wharf. Great. Do you allow pets? Yes, the International Hotel is pet friendly. They accept pets for £10 per pet for the first night or £25 per pet for 2 nights. Who's taking more than fucking 2 pets to a hotel? It's kind of weird. And then we can ask a question, what attractions are there around the hotel? You can see what's happening here. It's just pulling information from that knowledge base. So close to many of London's main attractions, including Tower of London. Great. What are the top 10 attractions in London? Obviously, this chatbot could go way more advanced. We can now make it take bookings or provide information to guests and check booking numbers and all of that stuff. But for this example, I just wanted to show you how crazy it is and how simple it is to build out a solid knowledge base. You can see here it's listed the 10 attractions and everything is coming from that document that we uploaded. It worked. It worked. It's amazing. There we go. Simple as that. Guys, if you found any value in this video at all, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments what you want to see next. What do you want to learn? I'm here to help you. I'm here to provide you non-stop free value and help you build your AI automation agency. This is honestly the easiest business model to build up right now. We've been doing outreach ourselves for the past few weeks and we are literally signing clients left, right, and center. It is so simple. So please let me know in the comments what you need to learn. If you want to join the free Discord down below, you're going to be able to get access to AMAs, masterclasses, recordings, templates, all of that good stuff. And of course, you can ask me questions there too. Thanks so much for watching again. I love you all. Cannot wait to see you inside the Discord. And I cannot wait to see you making money with your AI automation agency. Catch you in the next video. See you soon. Bye-bye.